Good morning. It's Tuesday. I'm going to sit here and wait for my bat signal to go up. Trying to figure out what it is that the universe has for us today. I know that there's a message. I have one word, and the word is fragment. So we're going to play with that word today. So there goes the bat signal. Let's see who wants to join me. It's a crazy day weather-wise here in the mountains. And not really crazy. It's winter. It's February. It's crazy when we get 75 degrees. We have snow. Imagine that, we have snow. It's cold out there. I've been out there playing already. I do love to get out in the snow, even though I complain about it. It's beautiful. It's so silent. Everything is so quiet when you're and muffled. When you're walking, you got a gentle crunch, crunch, crunch. And there's this white stuff falling. And everything has, it's like an insulation. That's what it feels like. Everything's all insulated and covered up like a big white blanket over the earth today. So, hi Jen Stewart, how are you? So, I'm all about being creative today, apparently. As I'm walking through that snow, I'm freezing. It's so cold. And that's okay, because it's that muffled peacefulness that comes with snow. Things don't sound as loud. Everything feels calm this morning. So, I guess I'm there with it. I went right along with it. My whole being went to a calm place just being out in it. So that's what my world looks like this morning. Very white, very cold, and beautiful. So we're talking about fragments today. That's my word, fragments. I find that when I can't quite connect myself the way that I need to, all I got to do is go, oh, let me pull a card. Look, fragments. Isn't it a beautiful card? And then I just go, okay, what are we going to talk about with fragments? It's all I'm very good. Very well rested. You got a good sleep today. Very, very good. But you got snow too, so you might as well go into hibernation mode, right? So help me share out. I don't know how when I can't do two things at once. Sometimes I try and I fail miserably. I don't know why it doesn't allow us to share from this screen, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. So I just sit here and wait and hope that people decide to find me in the morning. So it's Tuesday. Yay, it's Tuesday. We've made it through another day. Yesterday was very long. Turned out to be longer than I thought. Turned out that I ended up staying up later than I planned for a certain reason. I'll explain some other time. Tammy, I think that's you. Thank you for popping in. Hi, Stefan. Good morning. How are you? Keep coming, guys. We got something coming through. I know there's a message in the morning in all of this cold stuff that we got going. There's messages today. So I'm regrouping my own self. I'm in a very calm space. Sometimes yesterday when we were in Silent Mystics, I was a little wound up. Sometimes my inner child comes in really strongly. And today it's just, I'm in a very calm place. I could go take a nice little nap. Be all rested. Hi, Julie Kiss. It's so nice to see my tribe. All you beautiful people. Keep coming in. Glad you're doing well, Stefan. How are you guys doing? I know some of you, Julie, you're up there too. How's the weather treating you? I know you've probably gotten blasted or are getting blasted with some pretty crazy weather. So, who else is out? There's Angel. Good morning, Angel. I hope you're doing well this morning. I'll tell you my problem. My problem was not related to people at all last night. My problem was animals. My children have collected here. So between those two cats and those two dogs, nobody let me sleep last night. The cat, I think the dogs were a little wound up with all the snow coming. There was snow plows around and it was getting them wound up. And these cats are just running around yowling at me. So my sleep was a little interrupted last night. Tammy, how are you this morning? Come on in and talk to me. I see you gathering. I'm going to stay quiet and still for just a few more minutes, letting this message come through. I showed the card already once. Sometimes it's a good idea. My intuitive senses come out when I start looking, when I pull a card for myself in the morning. So the card that I pulled this morning was this one. I don't know if you can see it. I do love these cards. They're, what are they called? Sacred Earth Oracle cards. And it's all colorful and bright, but there's so much that you can see in that. Look at that hand. Look at the eye in her hand. She's like a bird on her head. But fragments for me, It speaks a lot about who we are. We come into the world, all of us, I can pretty much guarantee all of you that spend time watching me on here, we have so many lifetimes to pull from, right? And so we come in and we have so much, good morning, Angel. We have so much, all these little pieces of ourselves. You know, we talk about facets and just being like so much more multidimensional than we think that we are. And so when I think of fragments, I think, okay, it kind of starts to come together, doesn't it? As the longer we stay on the planet, or the more that we'll spend time in stillness, we start to bring more and more fragments into the light. And so we have these parts of ourselves that are maybe come out of trauma, that maybe come out of some kind of a painful experience or an illness, or it could even be a joyful part. But we have all of these little fragmented pieces, and we're forever trying to put the puzzle of ourselves together, aren't we? So, and it is a puzzle. It can be a real journey of self-discovery, and it should be. We talk about teachers all the time. We talk about, we've got these gurus and we've got all these people that we want to learn from. And the truth is that there's so much that you can learn about you, about the universe, about everything by going deeply within your own self and looking for those little fragments, those parts of you that you may have carried back through from past lives, that you may have carried back, you may be picking up, even in this lifetime, or you might have some ancestral energy. Or I know this morning I was really drawn once again to go into Ancestry.com. That's one of my things. I want to dig deeper into my family line. I want to walk in their footsteps. I want to feel what it was like. And then how many times do we do that where we go deeply into our own ancestry and we begin to discover our own selves again? I really feel like we just kind of keep circling back through. So as we're going through, oftentimes as we're going through our own ancestry, we begin to find ourselves here and there, all over the place, So it's magic to me. It's like my treasure hunt to go in and to learn more about me, to learn more about those people that I love so much, to learn my grandmother and her history. And I'm not sure why. Sometimes I can be so obsessive with that. There's just this part of me that wants to go digging, like I'm digging for buried treasures. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. Energy, oh my. You're feeling some energy, are you, John? Good morning, Judy. There's another one. Good morning, Julie, I need help today. Wow. Please pray for peace for me and my family. Seems like close family going a little crazy. We will be doing that. Must be the snow. Maybe it's just the energy on the planet. The energy's been kind of crazy. We all know that we're coming into a time of change. Those of us who are light workers and we spend a little more time, we know, and we kind of stepped out ahead of other people, we know that we're in a time of big change, right? Well, all of us are going through this DNA advancement, these light activations, all of us. We can't just say, well, it's only just a few of us going through this evolutionary process that we're in right now. Everyone, all of humanity is going through this. Excuse me. A little clearing, please. So as we go through these changes, and as our family members go through these changes, and as the earth is changing, because the earth too is going through all kinds of massive changes, it can be really, really difficult on all of us. We're having difficulty too, and yet we have a better idea of what's going on. So we can go, okay, part of the ascension, part of our DNA activation, and we go, okay, I can find a way to work with my energy and get through this. But those who are very, very much asleep, they don't get it. They're just going through this stuff and they don't know why they feel the way that they feel. So it requires a lot of patience. Definitely sending healing to you and your family, Julie. We'll pull that in. When we get into meditation, we'll pull a lot of healing energy in there to help you out with that. Because I know what it's like. It's so easy, and you're not the only one I know in this group that's going through some family issues, and it's so easy for us to just stand there and say, I can say, well, this is going to pass, or I can whatever. When we're in the middle of it, we love our families, and if anybody's going to hurt us, it's going to be them. That's the truth. Is like we can go through life and we get bullied and we get harassed by other people, and we kind of get over that pretty fast. But we're open to our families. We hold space for them. And so when something happens and that family member says something or they're hurting or whatever's going on, we're more susceptible to a deeper wound. We open ourselves up to that painful energy, to that difficult energy, right? So it's about really remembering that we're completely supported in all of this. Make sure that you are calling in the angels every morning. You take a shower and you go, okay, Archangel Michael, I need you to clear my energy. I need you to sever and remove any cords or attachments, even to those people that I really love, because it's not my job to pull them around. It's not my job to carry them on my back. I sever those cords and attachments with love. I love them. Whoever you're around, whoever you might be picking up that energy from, remember that even though we love people and even though they love us, not everyone is really good at managing their energy resources. Not everyone realizes that they are affected by the energy of others. Or, excuse me so much. Hold on. That's enough now. Sorry, I've been out in the cold. My body is responding in like fashion. It says, well, let's just get all stuffy. So, So as we're going through it, that's just my reminder. As we're going through it, Julie, just keep on holding yourself in that beautiful bubble of protection, knowing that, and you can wrap each one of them in a bubble of protection. You can ask the angels to just shower them with unconditional love. Just bring in the love into your home so that, and working with our own selves, knowing that they are more reactive because they're going through this thing and they don't know why. So when we react to them, we react with unconditional love. We don't come from that place of, if you can bring yourself down, make that shift into your higher self if possible, and react through that lens of love. Take a big breath. Go, oh gosh, okay, that really hurt. I'm not going to respond right now because I'm in that place of hurt. I'm going to give this a few minutes. I'm going to work my way through. And once I calm myself down, then I can respond to them in a way that they're not going to react right back at me. And we're going to have, a whole big battle, a big scene in our home. Does that make sense? So we have to be, because we know more of what's going on. With great power comes great responsibility. One of my favorite movie lines. It requires us to be more still, right? And to be less reactive. So that's all I have to say about that. What else do we got going on? I want to make sure I haven't missed anyone real quick. That's why John, you're very busy working in past lives and there you are. I love working in past lives. Everyone is new journey of learning for the person we work with and for ourselves. Exactly. Judy, good morning. So it is true. Back to what we were going into before, the fragments of ourselves. Isn't it? It's like, I don't look at it as being a negative thing at all. I think we tend to be very fragmented. We pick up all this stuff from as we're growing up, and we forget little pieces of ourselves. We forget our truth. Really, we forget who we really are. And in the process of all that, I don't know, what do you call amnesia when we're born? We kind of have parts of ourselves that are stuffed down deep. And so getting to that again is, there is pure magic, I can tell you, in this past year, spending a lot of time working with different people. John and I have worked on it too. Getting into deeper places within ourselves, getting into those, you go into those caves and stuff and you start looking around. What do I got inside there that either I'm getting triggered by people and I need to know what that trigger is. I need to dig deeper and see where that pain is that needs to come up. Or maybe it's something really, really cool. Like, gosh, you're walking around and you meet somebody, or you could be on Facebook and you meet him and you go, why do I know you? Like, how many times do you do that? You're like, that person is so familiar to me and I just don't know why. Well, maybe the best thing to do is to go deeper within yourself. Go deeper in and see if you can find that connection. Maybe there's soul family members. And soul family is so important to find right now. We all have our physical families. We've all been born into somebody. And if all we're doing is putting all of our energy into our physical families, we're missing the boat right now. It's really important to know that you have a soul family, that you have tribe members that you can trust, that you can open up to, that you can be yourself with. Because no matter how many family members we have, most of them are not going to go where we're going. Most of them can't. Most of them are just, I don't know if they're baby souls. I don't know what's going on with but they're just not going as far as you need to go. And so I say this all the time, and I don't like to go deeply into it, but in my marriage with Steve, he couldn't go where I was going. I needed to keep on expanding. I needed to keep growing. And oftentimes we would have these conversations, and I would be getting into spirituality and all this metaphysical stuff and, energy sensitivity, because I am so energy sensitive. And he would go just a little bit in. He'd allow me to go a little ways, and then he would change the subject to a movie, because he loved movies, or something that was going on in the world. And I would just sit there and go, like, I really needed to go down there. I really needed to go down that path. I needed somebody to hear me so I can really work my way through something. And oftentimes I didn't have anyone. And that marriage is amazing as he still is, but as amazing as he was in physical form, he wasn't able to go spiritually to where I needed to go. And I say this all the time, is after he passed, it was like, then he was there. Then he passed me right up, and he showed me, he started teaching me. So if we can remember that we're all eternal beings, and that even though we're in physical form, and we may not be able to go to all those deep places, the second we cross, we figure it out. Then it's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It just unrolls before you, and then you're like, oh, now I know who I am. Now I remember who I am. So after he passed, it was like our relationship really changed. It was like, oh, now I can sense his energy. Now I feel his energy. Now energetically he's here with me. And I feel that beautiful energy of everything that he is. And so in that, it was pure, unconditional. That's the thing. There was no more conditions between us. It was open and completely unconditional. And that's what we're seeking, right? So I don't know where this is going in the fragments. It's just the fragmented parts can block us from our truth. Those little broken pieces that are inside of us sometimes are hiding, and we don't really even know that they exist until we dig deeper, until we go into some kind of a session with someone that can help us to find them, or we go deeply into our own meditation, we call on the angels, whatever it is. But there are parts of us that we uncover that change us, either by releasing them, by finding them in there and going, okay, I can't carry this around with me anymore. It's like a piece of glass in my foot. It's hurting me all the time. It's been hurting me my whole life, and I just haven't even known it was there. And now that I've figured out that it's there, now it's time to heal that part. Now it's time to release it. So that may be part of it. And the other part of it is what if that fragment that you find is a piece of the truth of who you really are? What if you suddenly realize that you are a healer, that you've been a healer for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and that you've come back and now you're doing it again, and you realize, you start to put those little pieces together. We talk about synchronicities all the time. We think that they're some kind of angelic thing. I really believe that most synchronicities are there because you place them there for your the plan that you made out for your life. You said, I'm going to put this person here. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put these different little hints along the way, so that when I'm back there and I'm in physical form and I'm going through my life, I know I'm going to cross that path or that person, and they're going to remind me of who I really am, or they're going to help me to learn something that I really need to learn. Or I'm going to be their teacher, or whatever it is. It's like we have all of these little parts, and so those parts can also be hidden within us. It's all one big, I really feel like life is all one big treasure map. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's why I'm so kind of really obsessed with pirate stuff. I really feel like life is all about finding all of those buried treasures, those fragmented parts of us that are waiting to be rediscovered. So that's my thing today, all about fragments. I think it's an important thing to consider. So what do you feel? You guys, I can be very interactive on here if you want me to. What kind of fragmented parts have you found? Yeah, Julie, it's okay. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to go back and forth, Julie. We are all human. I don't know if you remembered that, but we're all human. And especially when it's family members, it's really easy to be reactive. And so it happened. Are you going to beat yourself up over it? Or are you going to be kind to yourself? Are you going to treat yourself with unconditional love today? Or are you going to continue to create more unrest inside of yourself? So we all do it. We all react in a way that's probably less than light and love sometimes. And we need to remember that we're still human, that we are affected by the energies around us, that sometimes we react poorly, and then forgive ourselves and move forward. You just go to somebody and say, wow, I'm sorry. I really was just reactive. I didn't mean to be quite that harsh, whatever it is. You apologize, you get it out in the open, you have a chance to talk about it. You're still human. Don't beat yourself up, okay? Just love yourself through it. Learning to heal from a breakup, 17-year. Wow, Judy, that's huge. Sorry that you're going through that. 17 years is a long time. If you're with somebody and you're really in a love relationship for 6 months, or 2 months, or 1 month, it hurts. 17 years is a long time and I know how it feels when you're just sitting and thinking about what it used to be like. I remember when we were so in love, and then to be able to go to a place where you're moving away from each other. The way I look at it is where that empty space is created is where we have the opportunity to fill it with someone that's closer to where we are in life. It's natural. Many of us think that we get into relationships and it's forever. This one relationship, I'm going to be in it forever. I was 20 years in an abusive relationship because I believed that, okay, I'm married, I'm in this forever. And then with Steve, I thought it was forever. And then he passed on me and I thought, wow, okay, now what do I do? I've gone through different relationships and I'm learning. I've really learned a lot about knowing when to exit stage left. Knowing when you've learned as much as you need to learn from each other. There comes a point where intuitively we all know. And so we are in a relationship and we think it's going to be forever. And then suddenly something happens or that person starts treating us really poorly. And we're like, what's going on with this? Why did everything suddenly change? Remember that we are spiritual beings in a physical body. And we instinctively, intuitively know when we're supposed to exit the stage, when we're supposed to go. So even though our conscious selves, I've done a big study on this in the past couple of years in the relationship that I left that was in California. It was like coming to the place of, I thought immediately, okay, I'm in this forever. That's how I just do things. I go, okay, all right, I just love you and we'll be together forever. And he was like, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I want to look around a little bit. And I thought, okay, I'm going to let you look around for a little bit. And then a year and a half later, he's like, okay, now I really want you. And I know I can't find you in anyone else. And then it was like, oh, but I don't know if I want you anymore. Suddenly I was like, wait, I've had a year and a half to think about this. Now I'm not even sure I'm in it. It's very confusing. Relationships are confusing. And if we can learn to focus on our intuitive senses, that Spider-Man senses, where we suddenly go, we have to listen. We are eternal beings in physical form for just a little while in this body. And sometimes relationships are meant to go and go and go and go. And sometimes they're only meant to go to a certain place. And then suddenly you find that you're like, it's not the same anymore. Maybe it's time that maybe you've grown. Maybe it's time for a new growth spurt with someone else. That's all. Maybe it's just time for you to learn to love you fully. That's a relationship with yourself. Suddenly it's like, oh, I don't have to give all my energy to another person. I don't have to give all my time. I don't have to do that. I'm going to spend some time. After Steve passed, I spent a year and a half finally just learning to love me. And it's life altering. So that's all I could suggest to you. I don't know where you are or what's going on, but take the time to look in the mirror every day and just learn to love you. Because as we learn to love ourselves, that's the energy that we will then draw into ourselves. Doesn't mean you're by yourself forever. It just means, oh, I got time for me, finally. I'm going to learn who I am. I'm going to start digging out all those fragments that girl keeps talking about and start really learning more about who I am and what I came to this earth to do. And as I'm going through that, I'm going to draw different people into my life. My energy's changing, and I'm going to start pulling all kinds of positive people into my world that are very much like me. I'm going to find soul family, and suddenly the happier you get, that all of a sudden somebody walks into your world and you're like, okay, that's why that one ended. This is the reason, and you'll know it when it happens. You're so welcome, Judy. Sending you unconditional loving healing. Oh, you got healing coming from John Stewart, Julie. Let's see. So, I'm all chatterbug this morning. Anybody else need counseling? I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel like I've come in. Do you remember the Charlie Brown, who was the one on Lucy, where she would put a hanger sign, the doctor is in or something? It was funny. That's what I just saw. I had a visual of that. That was kind of funny. My cats are losing their minds again. This is going to be a fun meditation. So we're going to go into meditation soon. We might as well get in there. Do you hear them? This has been my sleep last night. That's what I had to sleep through. Because his girl has left me for a few days and to go up to spend some time in the city. So between her doggy and her kitty, this little grandmother is kind of tired of babysitting. They want to join. I don't know what he wants. I know what he wants. She hasn't got him fixed yet. He's running around the house because he thinks he needs a girlfriend. The boy needs some serious work done. He may be in the background. There's not much way to get rid of him. So, trust me, I tried all night. So, we'll just let them play. I think it's both of them playing. They're running up and down the stairs. That's cute. Anyway, so why don't we go into some meditation? Why don't we go in and look at some fragments inside of you? What do you think of? When I was younger, really not that long ago, Steve was with me. I used to take old windows and I would take a bunch of glass, colored glass, and I would break it all up and I'd get fragments of glass. And I had this way of putting the paint on the window, on the window glass, and then making mosaics out of the broken glass on the old window. And it was something I was very obsessed with, and I just saw myself doing that because it's kind of like what we're doing today. We're going in, we're finding those fragmented parts, those pieces that are kind of colorful, beautiful, broken pieces of our lives. Those parts of us that we thought we wanted to hide away because we don't want to face those parts. They're sharp. It might be scary bringing them out. And yet they're important. It's important to find those fragments and to see how they can add to your creation, how you can add them to your beautiful masterpiece that you are creating. And so, as we go in, let's go in there together today for just a little bit. Let's be still together. And I want to see what, okay, come on in, angels. I felt them knocking on my door. They're like, would you like us to help with this? Yes, I would. I would love to have us go into some beautiful meditation time where we find those little broken pieces of ourselves, those fragmented pieces. Maybe you're just going to find one today. Don't try to do it all at one time. Imagine yourself. Let's get your feet grounded. Put your feet on the floor. Let's start with that because they're going to take us on something beautiful for just a little while. Let's see how long they want to take us. So you're putting your feet down on the floor and you're seeing those beautiful roots. I'm going to get my feet down too. Hold on. I got my lap full of goodies. Okay. I want you to see your roots going deeply down into the earth. They come out the centers of your feet, crack through the floors and the rock and the bedrock and the clay. All those layers in and around. The energy is getting crazy. I hope you can feel that energy build. It takes my breath away. It's wild. And so as you're seeing those roots go deeply, deeply into the earth, they go all the way to the center, to the star in the center of the earth. And then you're allowing, if you say yes, that stardust, that cosmic stardust comes back up through the earth, into your feet. Breathe it all the way in, letting it just fill you up, this beautiful ancient earth energy. Grounding your energy, allowing you to feel firmly planted right here. Who says we have to go someplace else? Who says that we don't belong right here on this earth? This is home. It's okay to feel at home here. You don't have to feel like you got to go out into outer space someplace anymore. Just feel at home, right here, wherever you are. Allowing this earth to give you that sense of being, that sense of becoming. Just becoming. We're calling in Archangel Michael for each one of us. Bring in a whole army of angels to wrap around each one of you, allowing you to feel completely protected. Wrapping that. I often hear what sounds like when I call in Archangel Michael and he's wrapping me in this beautiful bubble protection. I actually hear like the sound of metal clanging together. It's very interesting. It's like chink chink. Everything just kind of clicks into place and you're completely protected. Can you hear that? So now that we're completely protected, each one of us in our own bubbles, keeping us safe from any kinds of cords or attachments amongst anyone that comes into this group, that we are completely safe in our own bubble, completely safe and protected from anyone in our families, asking that that protection would reach out to our family members too, bringing a sense of peace, a sense of comfort to those around us, to our family members, to our loved ones, to our pets, to our home, to each one of us. All right, Mr. Stop. So allowing for that peace to be wrapped around you, that gentle sense of protection and caring energy. We're asking Archangel Raphael to come in also, working through all of these lower vibrational issues that we've got, running through all of the issues with the family members, healing the wounds, the scars from conversations, even if they're not physical, if they're emotional scars, or the past 24, 48 hours, however far back you want to. Any family members that have been hurt, if you've been hurt, asking for healing energy to just float through all of those relationships, floating through the home, lifting that heavy energy, asking Archangel Michael and all of his angels to come through your home, and anything that's in your home, anything physical, any items that you might have, anything where there is any kind of attachments, any negative energy, asking to lift that energy up, to raise it into a nice high vibration, so as you walk through your home, it feels peaceful. Noticing that those around you, they don't even know what's happening, and yet they feel the energy shift. And suddenly they're like, oh, it seemed really important yesterday. It's not so important today. I'm sorry. Take a big breath. Feel that beautiful energy. This is unconditional. You let go of any guilt, shame, blame. Let it go. If you're being unconditional with everyone else, you have to be unconditional with yourself too. Just love you. You're struggling. This is difficult. This planet is very heavy energy. It's difficult. Sometimes we react to that heavy energy, and it's okay. It's okay. You're perfectly and perfectly perfect. It's taking a big breath, sending out love energy to everyone that is here in this group, that comes in later, feeling the energy of the angels, the energy of Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Jesus, Saint Germain, Saint Francis for the animals. Take a big breath. You can call in whoever you'd like, whoever's safe, whoever's here for our highest of good. If you have loved ones that you're missing right now, if they're here for your highest of good, you can call them in. And just allow yourself to be in that place of peace for just a minute, and then we're going to go looking around a little. So take that beautiful peace that the angels are wrapping you up in. Open up your hands, relax your body, letting go of that tension, all that energy that's stuck inside of you, just releasing. Let it go. Let them just sweep it all away. As they take it away, they return it, transmuting it into the light, returning it to you. Beautiful, cleansed, clear, light, healing energy floating all around you. Just breathe it in. It's like a fog all around you as it rolls in. And you just take a big breath and pull it all the way into your lungs and then let it go out to every cell of your body. Big breath. So now that we're here and we're calm, we're centered, we're safe. Yesterday we went into, if you weren't here, we found treasure trunks. I want you to see yourself now with a treasure trunk in front of you. This is where you have stored up all of your lifetimes of little fragmented pieces, all little things you've collected along the way, as if you were walking down the beach and you found a piece of glass or a seashell or a treasure on the beach. You've taken all of those little things, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and you've stored them all up in that treasure trunk. So you've got this beautiful treasure trunk full of, as you open it up, the light hits and it's just fragmenting all over. You see all of these like rainbows of light in different colors all around you. I want you to look into that treasure trunk and I want you to pick up one of them. Just find one that you're drawn to, whatever color it may be, whatever shape. Pick it up and hold it in your hand. Remember what color it is. We're going to bring that out with us. And I want you to hold it and feel the energy of it. What does it feel like to you? Does it bring up any pictures, anything in your mind? Can you see anything? Do you smell something? Do you hear, taste, anything? Any memories that are attached to that fragmented piece? Just feel it for a minute. I smell pine. Mine is pine. I'm that little girl laying under the pine trees again. What are you? What are you doing? Use your imagination. Let your imagination just take you to where that fragmented piece wants you to go. Keep breathing nice and easy. Wherever you're going is okay. Wherever it might be. You're completely safe and protected. Just breathe nice and easy, allowing for your imagination to take you, that little child inside of you, calling in your higher self now. If you're having a struggle with this, call in your higher self. Say, come on in. Come on in, show me what I need to remember today. Why did I get triggered? Why did I have that pain? Is it something that happened when you were a child? Maybe it's time to remember. Maybe it's time to bring in healing. We get triggered because we have something that needs to be healed. So keep breathing nice and easy, asking the angels to help you with this beautiful search, this part of you that needs to be discovered again, rediscovered. Maybe it's just to spend time as a child. Maybe it's to remember who you were before the world changed you. I was a little girl who loved nature. I was a little girl who found her peace laying down under pine trees when the wind would blow. I found my comfort in the smell of pine. Who are you? I loved to sit and play in dirt. I loved just spending time looking at the water and the way the light would shine on it, creating diamonds. Asking the angels to bring in healing, clearing energy through your chakras as you're sitting here relaxing. If you got any blocked energy working through, I feel a lot of blocked energy in the throat, like grief is trying to come up, sadness. So whatever it is that you're working with, it's okay. You are completely supported. You are so loved. Allowing for those vocal cords to just open up, pushing through that stopped energy. Just pull your energy all the way up from your root and pull it all the way into your throat. Better. It's okay. It's okay. We've all had so many pains and losses and sadness. And if you think about how difficult it is just being in this lifetime alone, and we're all old souls, imagine how many lifetimes we've had and how many times we've come to some kind of horrible end, or someone that we loved came to a horrible end. And it feels as if this will always repeat, that we're always going to be in this cycle of loss, of pain, of hurt, of confusion. And we don't have to be. That's what they're saying. As we release these beautiful little fragments of ourselves, I want you to see yourself now that you visited that. Pick it up. Look at it. It's reflective. So pick it up and look at your face in that fragment of glass. If you haven't come up with anything yet, look at you. What do you look like? Are you still the one that you're looking at the mirror now? Or when you look in that glass, are you someone different? Are you a child? Maybe your skin is even a different color. Maybe it's a whole different lifetime. See yourself. It gives you something to work with. I see myself with darker skin when I look in that fragment. I see myself with dark eyes. What do you see? These are just some of the fun games to help us. Remember this next time you go into meditation. Pick up something reflective. Look at yourself. See if you're different. Look at your feet. What are you wearing? Where are you standing? What do you smell? What do you feel? What does the air feel like? What color? What color is your hair? What are you wearing on your body? All these things, it helps you to get in touch with that part of you that's been long hidden. It's fun too. These are the treasure maps that we can go through. We can go through and find ourselves through discovering these different parts, these fragments. So I can't do this with you all day, but I hope that you'll take this exercise and you'll continue. Take yourself into some deep meditation and look and find a fragment and introduce yourself to that part. Spend some time getting to know you. Look at yourself in the water. Walk over to a pool of water and look down if you want to. What do you see? These are the parts that you're longing to rediscover. You get triggered because those parts are wanting to come up to the surface. They want you to remember them. Please remember who you are. Remember. You're magical, mystical, amazing, powerful. So take a big breath. I want you to take that fragment now that you've been carrying around. I want you to stick it in your pocket and remember that it's there when you come back up out. And remember that you can pick up that fragment anytime. It's your reminder. It's your reminder that you are so much more than you think that you are. And that you can go in and learn more about yourself. You can go in and find different fragments and each one tells a story. And you can continue down this journey forever. There's no end. So I want you to take a big breath. Now I want you to pull your higher self, your little one, all of you back in to your heart, into your chest space. Take a big breath. We're asking the angels to come in and sever any cords or attachments to any one of us, between us, anywhere in this meditation together, so that we're all standing in our own power and wrapping each one of us in a beautiful bubble. Every one of us is safely protected within that bubble. You have your own bubble today. You can bounce off the walls. Anybody that comes at you with negative energy, it bounces off, and you're just safe in that bubble. And when you're around your family, if they're still in that crazy mood, it won't matter because you're completely safe inside of your bubble. Whatever they've got for you, it's just going to bounce off and go right back at them. And all you're going to do is sit in that bubble and just smile like a big old Cheshire cat. I'm happy in my bubble. Don't mess with me. So take one more big breath. Integrate all this beautiful energy. We're thanking the angels, thanking our loved ones, thanking the ascended masters. I'm thanking each one of your higher selves for joining us today. Thank you to each one of you for joining me today also. I appreciate you so much. I thank you for coming back in every day. One big breath. Thank you, thank you. Grateful to the angels. So grateful for this beautiful love that we share for the connection. Thank you. Pull yourself all the way back in. You can start moving around. But remember that you have that piece of, it's all nice and smooth. It's like sea glass and it's in your pocket. And when you want to learn more about yourself, you can pull it out again. I hope that you're all feeling nice and peaceful now. Healed, healthy, strong. You're so welcome, John. You're so welcome, Julie. Margaret, nice to see you. Yes, that's what that cat needs. You're exactly right, Margaret. Thank you for telling me. That's exactly what he needs. He's a beautiful boy, and he needs to not reproduce anymore. Bouncing, flying, bubbling pigs. So one of these days, John, I'm going to see you do that, and we're going to go into the bouncing, bubbling, flying pig meditation just for you. Now, you can just stay there for as long as you want. All right, you guys, have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm going to go ahead and get busy on my day. I've got to deal with plumbing issues again today. Yay! Have a beautiful day. I will talk to all of you again. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I will be here tomorrow morning. Take good care of yourselves. I love you so much. Bye.